What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Terrafirmacraft. Now, I have once again drastically changed locations. We are in the same world, but we are very, very, very far away from where we started. In the last episode, I got a whole bunch of copper, and I did some exploration. I decided I don't want to live in a hot place. We lived in a really, really hot place back there. I wanted to move to somewhere a little bit more chilly, because I want to show you guys the difficulty of winter survival in Terrafirmacraft. Um, the good news is that we have pretty much everything we need to thrive in the Stone Age. We have, oh, you see my very kind of like, this is the kind of straw clothing that you make in an Asian region, so you got the classic conical sort of hat. So I don't know if we're still, and yeah, the reason why I had all this straw clothes made was because I was walking in like crazy hot, like I was taking damage from how hot it was. So hopefully this place is a little bit colder. I don't know. It doesn't look too cold. If I take all this off, I'm actually in warmer, in like the upper warmer zone. But then again, it is July, so it might be a little bit better. Now there, see, we just went into the hotter, the red zone of heat. Interesting. Seems to be a little colder over here, and then a little hotter again. So I'm not entirely sure what determines the temperature, but maybe we won't need to worry about a particularly harsh winter. But we'll prepare for it all the same. We're definitely going to need very good supplies, food preservation and whatnot. So I decided that I'm going to settle here. We have this beautifully flat area to plant all these new crops. I found so many different kinds of crops, you guys. I found so much barley, which is probably in one of my ceramic vessels here, which we can actually use to start smelting down our copper and our tin. The unfortunate thing, though, is we actually have one too many. Basically, we're gonna have to make our copper in 2 trips. So use both of our vessels for it. I'll explain when we get there. A lot of barley. 1 madder. Madder is useless. It's just dye. But I'll keep it anyway because we don't want to just survive, you guys. We want to thrive. I'm going to start out by planting the stuff, but I'm going to need to clear the area a little bit better. I've been playing in my other world a lot, so I'm used to having a lot more crafting space. So for the time being, oh, someone in the comments mentioned that I was tilling dirt. Now, the interesting thing about Terrafirmacraft, let me just turn down the volume a little bit just in case it's a little loud for you guys. I'm honestly not sure. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you want it louder or quieter. But someone in the comments mentioned that I was tilling dirt rather than grass, and I couldn't quite finish reading the comment because I could only see it in my notifications rather than in my actual, like the full text of the comment for some reason. But no, I don't know if this is what that person was referring to, but there is a situation where you can have issues with growing your plants if you try to plant them on blocks that you place yourself, because you need a certain amount of nutrients. You also need sunlight and things like that. So I don't know if maybe I have to wait for them to like become grass first. I'm not sure, but I never had any issues with it, so I'm just going to do it the way that I've been doing it. And we'll just see what happens. We may have issues, we may not. We have lovely wheat. We have our amazing onion. And we're gonna have to cut down a whole bunch of trees here. And barley, you guys are gonna have so much grain. We're literally gonna get the bread. We're not gonna necessarily do the most organized mine in the world, but we're going to do something with it. And we're also going to have all these mushrooms. So we're gonna have, I just planted this. So if I actually do one of these with it, you get a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of mushroom food. But I won't do that with it. I'm going to plant them because, you know, I don't know how harsh the environment's going to be here, you guys, but if it is a harsh environment, I want to be a little bit more prepared. So we'll just plant these guys right here, and apparently they're going to expand, so that'll be exciting. And we're going to plant, there we go, that one's gone. We're going to plant the rest of that barley. And I also have a whole bunch of flax, and I'm going to want to pay attention to what nutrients the particular plants that I'm planting use. It's possible that they all use the same nutrient, right? I explained in the last video how farming works and how you want to use as many different nutrients as you can. I also have soybeans, carrots, flax, barley. I have more things here. Yeah, cabbage. So much food, you guys. We are going to be just fine. And the bushes. Yeah. I gotta plant the bushes too. We have to have a little bit of fruit. I'll deal with that in a second. Yeah, I don't know what the significance of having different food groups is. I think it gives you more health. I'm not sure. I actually just made an iron axe in my other world, and it takes so much faster to chop down trees. It takes like a little over 3 seconds to chop down one, which ends up being a lot faster than Minecraft. Because you're like, I don't know, tree per second or whatever, you know. You end up being able to do a lot more because, you know, you chop down one block, the whole thing falls. So if you're chopping one block at the rate that you're chopping a block in vanilla, now you suddenly have a much quicker yield of wood. So in other words, it takes a lot faster, or sorry, it takes a lot longer to get anywhere in Terrafirmacraft, but once you get there, you are gonna prosper hard, because of just a lot of the ways that this is designed, right? So we talked a whole bunch about, I talked a little bit about the progression in Terrafirmacraft in one of my last videos, and as I mentioned many times, the whole point of this is to talk about the different design decisions made in this game to provide a good player experience. So the interesting thing about progression is, like I said, once you get once you've done all the work, once you've really earned the tools that you're using, like speed comes with a price. These are carrot seeds here that I just placed. The speed of being able to plant, goodness, I'm thinking of too many things at the same time. The speed of your tools is something that you work very hard to earn. And also the durability of your tools. For the longest time I was using like a bronze axe, and I could literally see the durability bar move every single time I chopped down a tree. I could chop down a lot more trees than I could with a stone axe. But the reality was that the iron axe was just miles better. Um, let's chop a couple more here, and then, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start making our copper. One more. So this is flax. This is very important for making clothing, which, hot or cold, we're gonna need. Okay, it is beginning to be a little bit on the darker side, so let's quickly build our bed. Just do it here for now. If you're wearing anything, like on these slots, like on your pants or shoes, do not step in water because they will get soaked and they will decay. Now, it's fine if it's like a cold area that you're in. Yeah, there's a lot of salt water here, which is good, and there's also fresh water, which is also good. And the reason why salt water is good is because we're going to need to preserve all that food that we're farming. Not to distract myself from what I was talking about, as I will do many, many times. I hope you guys don't mind too much. Oh crap. Okay, so, you know what? I'll demonstrate. Okay, so I'll walk into the water, picked up the knife, but now, guess what? These are both soaked. So they're going to lose a lot of their durability, and grass is very, very, very bad for durability. And look at how bad my temperature became. It became to the light blue, which is very cold. It's too cold. I'm very much not comfortable with that kind of temperature. I'm going to... I don't think I'm going to start taking damage, but if I spend too long in the water, if I get completely soaked and I submerge myself, I think I did not destroy them, but I lost a lot of my heat protection. Normally, depending on how cold it is, you would see a like a timer start counting down how much time you have until you start dying. So, okay, that was the matter. This is, I think, the wheat, and then all that's the barley. Cool. So, we're gonna start chopping down some of these trees and clearing up a nice little area to use. Oh goodness, I forgot how slow it takes to chop down trees after using the iron axe for so long. So, this is white cedar. No, it's not, it's pine. Oh man, okay. Okay, cool. Alright, that's fine. I thought it was white cedar, which, if it was white cedar, I would know that we're in America, but I'm no longer sure about that at all. Goodness, yeah, I don't know. Okay. Alright, well, for now, we'll live under the stars. And we'll chop down a whole bunch of trees and stuff. Okay. I don't want to start a fire, and okay, I'm thinking ahead a little bit. You know what? Okay, we'll plant these berry bushes. Alright, I don't know what you guys came to this episode to watch, but we're getting a little bit of everything. So, we're getting some farming, we're hopefully getting some metallurgy today. I'm always confused about how the berries work, because I try to plant them, maybe it's because of shade or something. No, it's not because of shade. I don't know. Maybe it's because of dirt. Yeah, maybe it's dirt that they don't like. They like grass. I don't know. The more you know. Alright, so having berries, we barely have any berries, but if we assume that we have berries, we can start making a berry juice, out of which we can make a berry wine, out of which we can make vinegar, with which we can preserve our food. So you can begin to see how complicated these systems are that are in place in this game. Very, very complicated, but very rewarding. That's the thing. Like, I'm chopping down this tree. My axe is probably going to break before I chop the whole thing down. Yeah, a bunch of it stayed. But you know what, you guys? Once we start seeing metal happen, which isn't going to be for quite a while because I'm taking it really easy with this world. I'm taking it slower. We're going to spend a lot more time in the Stone Age just chilling, you know, just getting wood. Um, we have our 3 main copper tools. Well, we don't yet, but we will, which is going to be, oh yeah, very nice, lots of wood. It's going to be our pickaxe, our prospector's pick, and our saw. And the saw will let us do pretty much whatever we could possibly need. But for our current purposes, you know what? Why don't we just go right ahead and smelt that stuff? Okay, so if I just wanted copper, I have these bunch of sources of copper here. I have this cassiterite. This is basically just tin. If I hold shift, we see that one of these equals 10 units. I have 160 units here. 100 units makes 1 ingot. So I'm gonna put all but 1. No. All but 1. Is that how I want to do it? I think so. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so 16, 17, 18, 19. I have a little bit too much. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright, so basically every 8 copper nuggets, 1 cassiterite nugget creates creates bronze. Okay, that might not have made any sense. Check the wiki, because it's going to be a lot more helpful than my ability to explain it, unfortunately. Now, if I only had place a little bit farther away from trees, maybe over here. Yeah. Yeah, okay, we can do this. We can do this. Alright. Shovel? Anybody? Anybody? Alright. I will prepare my other vessel. So we have 7, 8, 9, 10. And that is our 3rd ingot. That is 1 single ingot right there. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I don't know if we'll need 2, but we'll definitely need at least 1. Yeah, we will need 2, and I might as well create an additional jug while I'm at it. Okay, so now, out of clay we can also create molds, because we're going to need to cast our copper. Right? This isn't like normal Minecraft where you can just take your ingots and just place 3 ingots next to each other and say, oh, I have a pickaxe now. You have to actually form the metal. So how we're going to do that is we're going to create a pickaxe mold like this. We're going to create a prospector's pick mold like this. And we're going to create a saw mold, which is a little bit more complicated. It's 1 diagonal. It's an upper spine. And to represent the lower jagged edges, you just do that. So you have these like little... Oh no. I accidentally clicked. But yeah, so you have the way that you can think about it to make it easier for yourself. 1 diagonal, upper spine, and then the teeth are done with a lower spine, and like that, and you have this nice jagged line across the bottom. And there's that. Okay, and then with, as I said, with our... amidst our last one there, because we need it for the saw, I will build 1 more vessel. Because we have a lot of stuff and we have to start storing it, and we're not necessarily going to have a lot of options for that just yet. A few, but not a lot. Another jug, so that it doesn't break, and why not 1 more jug, just so that we're very not worried, and maybe we'll have enough jugs to last us until we have a proper water skin. Alright, so now I'm stuffing these with clay. Oh, you guys saw these already. Those are gonna become our melted down bronze. And I'm probably just gonna get rid of the last little nugget here because we're not gonna need it. Unless I screw up. Not exactly outside the realm of possibility. Okay. We'll light these two. And unfortunately I'm gonna have to pay a little bit more attention to them. If you build them diagonally, by the way, you only have to fire strike them once. I usually like to just get rid of my fire striker as I fire starter as I finish them, because usually they get really bad on durability. There's just no point in keeping them around at that point. And yes, I am using my axe to chop down grass. I'm also looking for mushrooms. There's another mushroom, another two. Mushrooms are gonna be a good survival food for us. Oh, why? Why did you not like that? Interesting. Why is that breaking? Oh, maybe it needs a bunch of grass around it or something. No idea. Oh, interesting. Okay, so mushrooms are really annoying, aren't they? Why? That's so strange. Maybe, I think it has something to do with light levels. Light levels, grass. It worked there, it worked there. I'm not gonna argue with it. If it works, it works. Cool. Alright. Mushrooms, great. Alright, that's another day. What time is it? Yeah, okay, we can sleep. Alright, it's not super hot. Like my temperature is kind of going towards the lower end at night, which is maybe a good sign. I'm not sure. But I am hopeful that we'll have a nice, harsh, difficult, challenging winter ahead of us. The main reason is because on my main world, I am very, I was very much not disturbed by the winter, and I was kind of annoyed because I'm like, I made all these provisions, I was so ready, I was so excited, I made like super warm clothes and stuff, and all for nothing. Okay, let's hope this worked. So, when we right click, yes, we have 100 bronze units. We'll make our pickaxe first. See, that's pouring in. You can see it kind of filling up. There we go. 100 units. That's one ingot worth, or one tool head worth. Oh yeah, that's empty. So we can put that down. Our next one, and you can see, by the way, it's orange. It actually has a heat temperature color, and it says it's a liquid at the bottom. So I'm going to do that to the... Is this also... No, that isn't. Okay. Yeah, so this one had 200 units, so that filled up our prospector's pick, and then this is going to fill up our saw. And ladies and gentlemen, with these three tools, we will conquer the world. More or less. Why do I have so much extra dirt? Who knows? We'll just put some stuff in there. For now, we'll have different stuff in there for later. Oh, I don't like that this is decaying because we need a lot of that. That's what? That's wheat? I figured I would have more barley. No, because our barley was not ready. But yeah, so now it's in grain form. I got a bunch of straw from that and a whole lot less grain. So yeah, your grain returns are not as good. I'm actually going to save this grain. I might not need to because we're probably going to have a whole bunch of barley, and I really hope that that grows before the winter. Any kind of grain is going to be very good for breeding animals. I don't think all animals need grain, but like cows, to bring them in, they need to follow you using grain. With that being said, I think what we're going to need to do is build a proper house. Luckily, we now have a lot of... Oh yeah, so to break the tool head out of the pick mold, you just put it in your inventory, pops right out. There is your pickaxe, and there's our first achievement. I totally skipped copper, you guys. Who needs a copper pickaxe? We are not going to be able to fully skip copper, though. Right now, our most prime possession is right here, our saw. Extremely important. Yeah, by the way, every single tool, saw included, you might get confused and think, oh, it should be on the side. No, it's on top. It's consistent with the other tools. Cool. With this saw, you guys, we can change the world with the saw. You can saw up logs. You get pine lumber, with which you can make planks, with which you can make, guess what? But now watch this. Bam. That's freedom. You can now make whatever you want, pretty much. Yeah, so you can see how so many things are locked behind getting metal, right? We got metal, we got a saw, we now have a game changer, right? This ties back to our whole discussion on progression, right? I had to get metal, I had to work hard for it, I had to hit the grind, and now my crafting grid is literally open to me. I can't really build necessarily everything, but I can build a great many things. We can like ladders. I couldn't have made ladders before. I couldn't have made arrows before. Now I can. I would show you guys, but I have no use for them. Basically, you cut these up into fletchings. You put the fletchings here, here, and here. A stick here, and then you put the stone flakes up here, and you get arrows. But yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. That's going to be it for this episode. In the next one, we're going to start making our house. It's going to be a little bit smaller than I had planned originally. And then we will start eventually seeing a proper house. This is going to be eventually a shed. But yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. Check out my devlogs because remember, I do predominantly make games. One game in particular. And I'll see you all in the next episode. God bless.